back to the science class. Today we are going to revise the chapter growing plants. So let us begin. We will first discuss about the reproduction. Reproduction means growing up of a new plant from the existing one. It is possible in two different ways, that is either from seeds or from other body parts. When we talk about the seeds are of two types, dicot seeds and monocot seeds. The seeds which are having two seed leaves are termed as the dicot seeds, and the seed which have only one seed leaf is termed as monocot seeds. Children, seeds are those part of the plant which helps to give rise to a baby plant, and the growing of a baby plant from these seeds is termed as germination of seeds. For germination, plant requires three necessary elements, that is air, water and warmth. When all these three necessary conditions are available to the seeds, they start growing into a new plant. Children, have you ever thought of a condition when all the seeds are at one place? Will a single seed grow into a plant? I don't think so. So, the scattering of seeds is necessary. This is termed as dispersal of seeds. Seed dispersal is possible in different ways. Wind. It means when the seeds are scattered because of the wind. Examples are maple seeds, drumsticks, etc. Dispersion of seeds with the help of water. The best example we can have is a coconut plant. Seeds dispersed because of animals. Children, sometimes the animals eat the seeds and throw it here and there, which helps in the germination. Another one is that some seeds are having hooks or the spine-like structure by which they are attached to the skin of the animals, or they are entangled in the hair of the animals, and hence they are scattered away from the main plant. Another method of seed dispersion is through explosion. When the seeds are ready in the fruit, they just explode and hence they are scattered. This is termed as through explosion. The examples are poppy seeds and the seeds of pea plant. We have studied about the reproduction in plants. Reproduction means growing new plants or the generation of a new plant from the existing one. It may be either through stem, leaves, spores or roots. We can have many examples which will help you understand about how reproduction is possible with the help of stem. The examples like rose and sugarcane. Reproduction through leaves. The best example is bryophyllum leaf, which is thick and fleshy, and hence a new plant generates from the edges of the bryophyllum leaf. Through spores. Children, you must have seen the bread moulds, a green colored substance which starts growing on it when it is left in an open place. These are the examples which helps the fungi plant to grow on the bread mould. That is the example of spores. Moving on to the roots. Carrot and sweet potatoes are the examples of the plants which regenerate or reproduce through roots. Moving on to the next concept, that is agriculture. Now, let us understand what is agriculture. Agriculture means when we grow large number of crops at the same time. And what are crops? If a same type of plant is grown particularly in a field, then we call it a crop. So, when we talk about crops, the crops are categorized into two different categories. One according to the seasons and another one according to their yield or their use. So, when we talk about that, the crops are divided into three categories. Food crops. These are those crops which are providing the food to the people like wheat, jowar, bajra, rice, etc. Okay. Now, moving on to fiber crops. These are those crops which provide fiber for making different types of cloth like cotton, jute and hemp. Next is oil producing crops. These oil producing crops include the crops of mustard, sunflower and soybean etc., whose seeds are used to extract the vegetable oil from them, which is further used for cooking. Now let us discuss the types of crops on the basis of the seasons. Children, remember that the crops which are grown in winter are termed as rabi crops, for example wheat and gram. And when the crops are grown in summer, they are termed as kharif crops, for example rice and bajra. Now, when we have discussed about the agriculture, let us discuss more about healthy crops, how we can get healthy crops. Selection of crops according to the soil. If we are selecting the type of crop according to the soil which is good and beneficial for that crop, then we will get healthy crops. Selection of seeds. If the seeds are of very good quality, obviously the crop yield will also be rising high and will be good. Adequate time to provide manures and fertilizers as per the requirement of the field will help us to get healthy crops. Supply of adequate amount of water timely to the crops will help to grow them timely and with a good yield. Spray of insecticides and pesticides to protect the crops from the insects and the pests are very helpful. Weeding, which means removal of the weeds or the unwanted plants from the crops. Why it is necessary? Because these unwanted plants take the nutrients from the soil and hence our main crops are deficient of that. So to overcome this problem, the weeding is very necessary. Now let us discuss about the stages of agriculture, which includes plowing. It means the timely plowing of the field to make it airy and fit for the crops and the roots to grow well. Manuring, providing the manures which helps to increase the nutrient and replenish the soil. Sowing seeds. The seeds are then sown after the manuring. Irrigation, which means providing adequate amount of water timely in the field. Spray of insecticides and pesticides to protect them from the insects and the pests like rats, etc. Harvesting. This is the last stage of agriculture. Why? Because when the crops are fully ripened, they are now ready to be cut and the seeds are to be taken out. So, this harvesting means the cutting down of the ripened crop from the fields. This is the last stage of agriculture. So children, as we have discussed about the summary of the chapter growing plants, let us evaluate ourselves with the help of this science quiz. Kaun Banega Science Master. Welcome back to Kaun Banega Science Master. Children, as you have already played one game with me, but before starting today's game, I would again want to recall the rules. As you all know, the time limit for each question will be 10 seconds and you have to give 10 marks to yourself if your answer is correct. Okay, so let us begin the quiz. So, the first question for today's quiz is here on your screen. Which of these is a food crop? Which of these is a food crop? And your options are A. Wheat, B. Jute, C. Soybean and D. Cotton. Your time starts now. I hope you all have written your answer in your copies. So, what is it? Exactly. The answer is option A, wheat. If your answer is correct, jot down 10 marks in your scoreboard. So here comes the next question on your screen. The baby plant between the cotyledons is called dash. The baby plant between the cotyledons is called dash. And your options are A. Dicot, B. Monocot, C. Embryo, or D. Seed coat. And your time starts now. I hope you all have written the answer. Time is already up. The correct answer is exactly, it's embryo. The baby plant in the seeds are termed as embryo. Okay, if this answer is correct, don't forget to jot down 10 points in your scoreboard. Don't set free. Here comes question number 3. For germination, a seed requires water, air, and dash. For germination, a seed requires water, air, and dash. Your options are A. Oxygen, B. Oil, C. Rest, or D. Sunlight. Your time has already started. Time up. What is your correct answer? My answer is sunlight. So, if you are correct, again add 10 points to your scoreboard. Now, let us move on to question number 4. Scattering of seeds away from plant is termed as dash. Scattering of seeds away from plant is termed as dash. Your options are A. Germination, B. Pollination, C. Dispersion, or D. Agriculture. Time has already started. Hurry up. This should be a fair one. Time up. My correct answer is option C. Dispersion. If it is the same as you have written, add 10 points in your scoreboard. Here comes the last question, but not the least. Question number 5. Which among these seeds disperse through wind? Which among these seeds disperse through wind? Options are A. Drumstick, B. Coconut, C. Xanthium, D. Poppy. Time already started. So, time up. This was the last question. What is your answer? My answer is option A. Drumstick. The seeds of drumstick disperse through wind. So, jot down 10 points in your scoreboard. Children, now total your scoreboard. If it is 50, then you are a science master. Congratulations. So children, I hope you all have enjoyed playing quiz with me. Be ready with the next chapter next time. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Jai Hind.